Alright, what's going on everybody on YouTube? Griffin here, coming back to you guys with another live stream, getting back to our Sunday stock watch. I'm going to start trying to do these every single Sunday again. It was something that we used to do every Sunday, of course. I'm going to try to get back into that just as kind of a week preview, let you guys know what I'm looking out for the upcoming week, and then it's obviously a good chance for us to obviously get in the comments, get in the chat, whatever you want to call it, and just throw some ideas off one another. This is a perfect time to like throw out any ticker symbols that we can all go over together, all that good stuff. When we were doing this every Sunday, we had a few of us in here and we had a good conversation going. So hopefully, like I said, as we get people tuning back into the channel and whatnot, we can start building that back up again. But I'm going to just quickly go over just a couple things that for anyone that's brand new. Again, if you're new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing below. We'd love to have you here. And consider joining our totally free Discord group chat as well. There's about 30 or so, 35 of us in there now. So we'd love to have you there no matter who you are, what you trade exactly. We're all about just trying to make money in the stock market and achieving financial freedom, of course. But so for those of you that didn't tune into, what was it, Friday or Saturday that I put a stream up? I forget which day now. I mean, I get my days mixed up so much. Either way, within the last couple days, for those of you that didn't watch the stream, I am currently just in a couple of SPY puts, just two to be exact. And why did I do that? Because you can see that lately we've just been in this little tunnel, still actively trending up, but and we talked about how I drew this trend line out months ago before. I think we were, let's see, yeah, it was right back in here when the market really started to finally kind of pull its act together. But you can see this top trend line's been kind of pretty much acting just right like a resistance. Every time we get above it for a few days, we come back down. And then you can see I just drew this trend line over the weekend, and just to kind of get a good idea on where this quote-unquote tunnel is that I'm referring to. And I think it's actually starting to wedge. I'll take a look at it here probably at the end of the week again. But you can see every time it comes down here, it just comes right back up. We go up, just resistance and support points essentially. Not a big deal. Is this guaranteed? Of course not. Does that mean that for the next few days we're going to see 295? No, absolutely not. For all we know, we could see 296, 297, which in all honesty, I personally would not be surprised if we saw about 295 to 297 this week. I'll get into all that here in a minute. But pretty much, why did I go ahead and decide to put some like just very short-term puts? I bought these, I think, Thursday afternoon. I think I might have bought one Friday morning, but pretty late in the week, of course, because I mean we've had a really good run this last week. You can see we just from, let's see, the 17th, what was that, Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday, we came from as low as 288 all the way to up to 293 by Thursday afternoon. So with that being said, I was like, okay, the market's gone up just from SPY. It's gone up what, $5, which is roughly 2%. The market's gone up 2% this week, right around there. A little more, a little whatever, but right around 2%. And really with no red days at all. I mean, Friday was technically red day. Yes, we went down about 1/10%, but I'm looking for a pretty decent pullback. Like, I'm not saying we're going to come clear back down 288 retest or anything like that, but I wouldn't be surprised if we bounce, if we come down somewhere to around like 291, 291.25. Right now we're sitting at 291.69 after our movement. So it'll be interesting which futures opens up here in I think an hour or two. But it'll be interesting to kind of watch the futures overnight and early morning and see what happens. But I would not be surprised if we pull back to around 291 to 291.95, somewhere in there, maybe even slightly below 291. But right around 291 is a hot spot, I think, before we see a bounce. Overall, like I said, I do think the market's probably going to go up to around 295 to 297 this upcoming week, pending any like bad news or anything like that, something that makes the market act up for a couple days. But how's it going, Keith? Good afternoon. Happy Sunday. But yeah, without any crazy stuff going on, which I don't really see anything much happening, I think everybody's finally starting to shrug off the whole China crap, because anytime we hear about China stuff now, the market drops about 50 points, and then we make it back up by the end of the day, it seems. So I think this was the day actually we heard a little bit about China, if I recall. I thought I heard something early last week about tariffs, and then we had a big green day, because if I remember right, the tariffs were supposed to be a lot worse than they were. I think it was like 200 billion at a 10% I don't remember the exact logistics of it all, but pretty much ended up being not even half as bad as what a lot of people expected. So you can see we made all that up, and then plus some, obviously, to finish the week. So unless if we have like any, again, just stupid news that causes us to have 1 or 2 red days in a row where we retest 288 again, which I don't see happening. Like I said, I think 291 is where we're realistically gonna settle at. 290 at the lowest, I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm thinking around 290 would be the lowest that will go this week. But pretty much a range of 290 to 295, 297 is kind of what I'm seeing for this week, which is why, like I said, I went ahead and played short-term puts. I don't like betting against the market long-term whatsoever. Why? We talk about this a lot. I talk about this a lot. The market does what? It does nothing but go up long-term. So why on earth would you want to bet? Let's go back 20 years. But why would you ever bet against a market that obviously back in 08, obviously we had all that crazy stuff happen in 08, but with the exception of the 08 bear market, what does the market do? It goes up, it goes up. We have corrections pretty much almost every year. You can see even we have little corrections in here. Some little ones here, a little one there, a little one there. Pretty much every year you're guaranteed to have some sort of a correction. Obviously this one was a little longer, a little more achy, but it was well overdue. We had, about 2 strong years without a true correction. So, I mean, it was due in all honesty. But overall, the market does nothing but go up. So why would you bet against the market? It just, long term at least, it just doesn't make sense to me why anyone would be a quote-unquote bear only. Like, I mean, the only way I could figure is that you need to lay off the news, buddy. Because, I mean, the markets are going to do nothing but go up long term. But that does not mean you shouldn't consider playing short-term puts, which obviously I do, which is what I was talking about. So, yes, I do have some short-term puts. How's it going, Josh? Good afternoon. That's what I was mentioning. I have some puts on SPY. Probably going to cash them out or either way get rid of them by Wednesday because they expire Friday anyways. But what I'm looking for is to make, again, just a quick maybe 5, 10, 20 if we have a solid red day, which I don't see a solid red day coming up, but I'm expecting to probably cash out about 10 to get a 10% return on those puts roughly between the two. One of them I kind of placed too early, didn't get a good deal on the price. So I'm down a little bit on that one. So that one I'm probably going to only break even or make $5 or $10, which would be roughly 2 to 5%. But the other one is in a decent spot. I'm only down like $2 or so on it, which is only a couple percent. And that one I think is probably going to be the one that makes me the majority of the quote-unquote percentage. Again, don't think about dollar standpoint, think about percentage standpoint. Other than, of course, when it comes to calculating your losses versus profits. Of course, we tried not to have any losses at all, but occasionally you have a bad trade or so. The thing you need to keep in mind when it comes to profits and losses is if you have, say, a 50% loss on a trade, which can be very possible doing short-term options, 1 week, even 2 week options, you pretty much need 100% return. Like say just to keep it simple, $100. Say you lost $50, so you lost 50% of your investment. Well, to make that money back, you're essentially going to need 100% return on the rest of your money, the $50, to just make up for a poor 50% trade that you made. Because what's 50% of $50? 25. So I mean, you're going to need to essentially double your money, 100%, to make up that 50% loss. Now, hopefully no one in here experiences 50% losses often, but obviously from time to time stuff happens, especially when you're working a full-time job and don't have stop losses and all that in place. Stuff like that can happen. I mean, it even happens when you're down 50%, don't panic sell. If you're down 60%, don't panic sell. Because I've literally, especially with SPY, I've had times where I've been down almost the whole investment. Like, I only have maybe, I'm down probably 60-70% of the investment. I'm just thinking, wow, I'm going to lose all the money of that. Just pretty much gone. Stupid tax, what I like to call it. And then within a day or two, it turns around and I break even or even turn a 5, 10, 20% profit. It's pretty rare when that happens. That was way back whenever I started options in the market. It was super volatile and was moving crazy each time it would move. But right now we're kind of obviously just in the late summer stage of the market where we're just kind of, I mean, we're having some good days and bad days, but It's nothing like it was a few months ago, let's be real. I'm just saying, don't panic sell, but just also keep in mind when you're doing super high risk trades what you need to think about, because a lot of people get messed up on the math. They think, man, I lost 50%, now I need 50% to make up for it. I'm like, no, that's where you do need to understand the whole dollar amount, because 50% of $50 is a lot less than 50% of 100. So if you lose 50% of $100, you need 100% return on 50 to get back to 100. So hopefully that makes sense to most of you guys. I'm sure it will. But if not, just ask for some form of clarification, and I guess I can attempt to clarify it up a little. And another reason why I put short-term puts is, I mean, the RSI on our 1 year, 1 day chart, I mean, it's not like stupid high like it was obviously back when we had the huge correction back in January, February. But I mean, we've touched the 70, 71 on the RSI indicator. We'll go ahead and just zoom in right here. So you can see last time we did was when we touched 291, and then obviously we had a little pullback for what, about a week worth of time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, just over a week. I mean, we had a green day in here and whatnot, but overall for about a week or so, we had a little pullback from 291, 292-ish, all the way back down to 286. So like I said, I'm not expecting us to come clear down to like 288 or anything like that. I expect around 290, 291, but that's, again, just my thought process, what I was thinking about whenever I purchased some SPY puts, some puts on SPY, and they're not like super out of the money or anything either. One was a 291 put, and the other one I believe was like a 290 or 290.50, something like that put. One of them cost me about $129, I think, and the other one only cost me $25. So with that being said, I don't know why my dog's whining. I guess he thinks that my girlfriend's gonna be home soon, but she's not for like another hour and a half. But yeah, and then after that, what I'm gonna do is just simply wait for that actual red day to happen. Good buying opportunity, of course. Wait for a red day, decent red day, not a little red day. Wait for a decent pullback. Hey, stop! Don't want, go lay down. Wait for a decent red day. Wait for those call options to drop in price by 20, 30, 40%. Scoop them calls up for a cheap price. 1, 2 week calls. Buy them at a cheap price. Obviously, of course, you want to make sure that there's nothing crazy going on where we could see a solid week or so of just consistent downward pattern or anything like that. You guys know what I'm saying? Like back what we were having months ago, where it was just, we thought, okay, we're starting to pull out of it, and then boom, we obviously had some major pullbacks. Obviously, do your homework, do your research, technical analysis, all that good stuff. But wait for a good. I'm gonna wait for a good red day. Hopefully, cash out those puts by then, which I'm expecting to do either tomorrow or Tuesday, in all honesty. But we'll see. No one can actually time the market to a perfect T at the end of the day. But just, I'm gonna wait for the red day, and then I'm gonna again scoop those calls. Probably sell them by the end of the week or early next week, depending on how far out I go with my options, for hopefully again another 10 or 20% of profit. So that's pretty much just my take for what I do for now on when I'm trading options, mostly with SPY. I also trade XOP and whatnot a little bit from time to time, you guys know. But for the most part anymore, what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of just step back, and I'm probably not going to place puts on SPY anymore, other than when it's, again, blatant obvious, like say we got super overextended like 295 or something. Then yeah, I would have placed, and our RSI was at like 80 or something like that on the 1 year, 1 day, then yeah, I definitely would have placed puts, like just something blatant obvious, of course. But again, I don't even like betting against the market to begin with, unless, again, if it's super short term. But how I'm pretty much going to go about trading options, especially with SPY for now on, is like I mentioned, I'm going to wait for a good red day, or maybe two, because obviously, let's be real, we can have multiple red days in a row, right? So I'll kind of just play it out day by day and wait for what I see as a good buying opportunity, do my technical analysis, see what's going on in the news, because obviously, even though the news doesn't drive everything in the market, if North Korea decides they want to fart or something, the market's going to react. So you just got to kind of pay attention to the news a little bit and whatnot when you're trading SPY specifically. And again, just try to catch it on sale, buy some calls. I'm pretty much only going to do calls is what I'm getting at with SPY for now on personally, unless if, again, like I said, if it just seems super obvious that we're due for a red day, then I'll go ahead and place some. To me, it was slightly obvious that we're due for a kind of a red day. Obviously, we dropped down to 291.69. At least I thought we did. Let's go to the 1 day, 1 minute. Yeah, 291.69 you can see here. So I'm honestly expecting us, again, like I said, to drop down to around 291. That's why I went ahead and placed those options. So again, when it's blatant obvious, I'll consider doing puts. But for the most part, I'm just going to be playing calls anymore when it comes to SPY. Another one I like to do, like I said, was XOP. XOP is a little bit different. Obviously, it trades pretty sideways. You guys know back in, no, this wasn't it. You guys remember that were with me back in May, or was it? Yeah, it was May. Back in May, I cashed out really good on some options whenever I placed a put, the perfect time on XOP, and within half a day it dropped like, what, 3 or 4%, something like that if I recall. I mean, I placed the put like right up here, and yeah, it dropped a lot. It dropped like 9% in 3 days, but I cashed out like right here because I was like out of day trades. So I had to just sit there and watch it essentially, and I bought a XOP put for like $100 or something like that, and I ended up, or it was a couple that ended up, there were a few of them, I think 3 or 4 that I bought of the same one that were like $40, $50 each, and then I cashed out on them all for like $500 profit. That was actually probably my best trade to date, like from a percentage standpoint. But like I said, XOP right now, I don't really like it too much. I mean, we have a lot of sideways action going on, of course, from $40 up to about recently about $42, $43. So I was half tempted to put some puts on XOP just because we're getting near that $43, and you can see had just this pretty steady. I mean, it's gone up essentially about 7% here within the last, I said it shows 14 days. So it's made me tempted to put some puts on XOP, and I actually, if I remember, was it calls or puts that I did? I either did calls or puts on XOP, and I cashed out for like 5% profit on Thursday or Friday, but I'm just not confident with it right now. I'm not confident with doing any trade right now, and that's one thing I always stress to you guys. If you're not confident in a trade, if you don't know exactly, if you don't feel comfortable about a trade at the end of the day, don't do it. Why stress yourself out? Why just make your life harder on yourself than it already is when you can just sit back, wait for, again, that perfect buying opportunity, be it puts, calls, buying stock, buying into an ETF, whatever the case may be. Why stress yourself out when you can just sit back, wait for, like, the worst that can happen is damn, I missed out on an opportunity. I'd rather miss out on an opportunity than get in one that I'm not more sure than not about and then be stressed out, trying to look at my charts all day while I'm at work, not focusing on work, which obviously can get you in trouble. Just overall making life more difficult. Just wait for the perfect buying opportunity. Obviously, there's never a true perfect, 100% perfect buying opportunity, but just at least be confident in your trades. Just do the best that you can do the best homework, best technical analysis, all that good stuff, and then pull the trigger, obviously. And if you need to, do paper trading. Shoot, that just reminded me, Keith, I knew I was forgetting something all week. I had all this time during the week to get this done, but it just totally slipped my mind. I'm supposed to do options on TD Ameritrade thing for you, which I'll say straight up, I don't trade options on TD Ameritrade whatsoever because, I mean, I know they charge fees and commissions and all that. That's why I use Robinhood. Obviously, there is a few downsides to Robinhood, but for the most part, for my setup, it does just fine for me. But, what else? There was something else I was going to hit on this video. Oh, yeah. So, obviously, we all know, and Keith actually, like, brought it up, I think, before it actually really took off last week. Stocks like TRLY, I think, and just all these pot stocks and everything. Does everything that's going on with these pot stocks sound familiar at all to everybody from anything that's happened in, like, the last, I don't know, year and a half? Sounds a lot like Bitcoin to me. I mean, obviously, Bitcoin and pot are two totally different things, but what do they have in common? Everybody's buying it right now, or everybody was. It looks like it's already starting to drop off a lot quicker. Let's take a look here. I only have the 1 year, 1 day. I'll just pull up the 10-day. Hopefully it'll load up here in a second. Or did I spell, what is it? Is it TLRY? There we go. Yeah, I knew I was spelling it wrong. Yeah, so wow, it went up to $300, already down to 112. I mean, it's pretty, look at this chart and then go pull up Bitcoin's chart from about a year ago. Looks identical. We saw it take off, kaboom, to stupid ridiculous prices. Bitcoin's still overpriced if you ask me. It's based on absolutely nothing. At least pot, I mean, it's a legitimate business, but that's a whole different subject. But point being, you heard it all over TV, heard it all over the news. Everybody's saying, oh, buy these pot stocks. Oh, Canada's legalizing it, blah, blah, blah. And then what happened? Boom, shot up. It got halted like 5 times in one day. I heard 5 or 7 times in one day due to the volatility. And now what's happening? The news isn't really talking about it quite as much. Everything's starting to die down. It's starting to come back to earth. Now what's happened? It's at $112. Where do I think it's going to be by the time this whole thing's ended? Probably back below $100. I'm probably thinking like, yeah, our RSI is starting to show oversold on our 10-day chart. Let's go ahead and pull up our 1-year chart. Yeah, look at that. It's still stupid high. I mean, the chart doesn't even hardly make sense, does it? I mean, when do you see moves like this? I mean, it dropped 30%, over 30% on Friday alone. So, I mean, just don't go with what's hot, guys. I mean, chances are, if you're hearing, I like to go by the rule, if everybody's talking about it, go the opposite direction. I even posted a screenshot of this chart on my Instagram. If you don't follow me on there, I think it's in the description box as well. If not, I'll have to put it in there. But I posted a picture of this chart, not this exact chart. I think it was like the 20-day or something like that. I think this was the chart I posted. And I just said straight up, I was like, if you stayed out of the pot stocks, good for you. You have discipline. That was just the total caption. Because literally, I mean, I can't lie. I thought about it. I thought about playing options on it. I was going to short the shit out of it once I saw that it hit above $250. Because I was like, this thing's going to fucking fall like a rock. And sure enough, it did. But the options were just ridiculously priced. I mean, for a put, that was like $100 out of the money at the time. Like $125, something like that put was going to cost you like $3,000. Something like that, like $3,000. I was like, good God. I mean, just think the money that those people made that could afford it, though, at the same time. Because I bet, I mean, let's take a look at it, at least from Robinhood's standpoint. I'm going to just go ahead and pull it up for you guys real quick. I would do it on the computer, but it would just take longer. So, what's the name of this motherfucker? TLRY. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go over to trade options. Down, I was looking at September 28th puts. Which one was I looking at? I was looking at like 125. Isn't that what I said? Something like that. It's like 125 or 130. Let's just start at the 130. So on Friday, the 130 puts went up 91%. Man, I wish I could have got into that. But yeah, one of them right now would cost you almost $2,500 for a September 28th put. That's crazy. I mean, even if you were to buy, say, $100 put right now, because like I said, I think this thing's going under $100 personally. But we'll see. I mean, it's already almost there, 112. So a $100 put is still gonna cost you $840, $835 to $840, guys. I mean, that's just for one single put. That's why I stayed out of it entirely. It's probably a good thing, too, because that's another, it would have probably stressed me out, because I'm like, man, I sure hope this thing doesn't keep going, because it was actually setting up as if it almost wanted to, like, bounce and keep going, but then when I saw that it broke right here and came down, I was like, no, it's going to go ahead and keep dropping. So, it's a falling knife. Don't try to catch it. Don't look at your charts and think, oh, it's oversold. No, it's a falling knife. It's going back under $100. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if, in all honesty, by the end of October, we're back down to $40 or even back down to $20 in all honesty. I mean, long term, yes, pot is going to be like I'm going to look at pot as kind of like your beverage companies going forward. Like long term, not right now, long term, like 5 years from now, they'll be decent. They'll probably end up being 1 or 2 blue chip pot stocks by the time it's all said and done in 5, 10, 20 years. But for the time being, right now, I'm looking at it as Bitcoin. I mean, it's only legal in Canada, as far as I know, like legitimate countries at least. Only legal in Canada. Canada is not like a huge powerhouse economy, of course. Until it's legal in America, I'm not messing with it. I mean, why? Don't trade based off speculation. If you trade based off speculation, you're going to get burned 99 times out of 100. I'm sure there's so many people that bought up here in the 200s that thought, man, this thing's just going to go to the moon. It's going to be worth $1,000. Because, I mean, I even heard the reference. Someone said, wow, this looks like Bitcoin. It might go to $2,000. And I was like, oh, my God, there's going to be a lot of people lose their money. And sure enough, I guarantee you there were some idiots that bought into it above $200 that are probably weeping right now about it. So, I mean, it sucks for those people that did that, but I'm sure that no one here did. If so, I mean, I'm sorry. Hope you learned your lesson, but definitely it's all about setting rules for yourself at the end of the day. Like me, I'm hard when it comes to this kind of stuff. Like, I just don't mess with it. You guys even know, like those of you that have been like watching the streams from the start, you all would bring up penny stocks that shot up, I mean, not this much from a dollar standpoint, but shot up 20, 30, 40%, and I was just like, I wouldn't mess with it. I mean, if it's already up 20, 30, 40%, why try to chase that? I mean, just look at it as, damn, I missed out on an opportunity. I mean, there's nothing more to even look at, because why? I just don't understand the whole chasing factor of it. Like, pretty much after it got up above $100, I was like, I'm not going to invest in that shit. That's overpriced. I mean, that's just me. It's not about not having the money to do it. It's just why chase it from a, like, just look at your charts. I mean, when in doubt, go to the charts. If the charts don't make sense, obviously don't buy it. So that's just my quick rant about buying the fads of the year. There's always seems to be something every single year. That's why I mentioned Bitcoin. It looks identical to Bitcoin. I would, like I said, yeah, I mean, this thing might hold around $75. But I honestly think it's going back down to 50-ish, 50 to 60 in all honesty. 20 might be pushing it, but 50 to 60 is probably where this thing's going to finish by the time all is said and done. I could be wrong. Who knows? We could have some more news coming out that pushes this thing right back on up. Again, doubtful. It's just one of those fads that come in once a year because something happens, like legislation within Canada that fully legalizes marijuana, and that's what happens whenever you have that. I mean, just look at the one day. Started out the day 172. It did almost go under $100. I didn't even notice that. So I mean, I don't know. I just don't get what would cause people, like, who's still buying? That's what I don't understand. There's people still buying. I mean, it's still going back up slightly, gets rejected, but there has to be buyers. So I mean, people are buying this shit still. So price action isn't horrible. At least from what I heard on what was it, Thursday, the price action was just nuts on this. I mean, it was jumping $10, $20 every 10 seconds from what I heard. But yeah, I just had to, it's just been building up inside me because I've gotten questions about it. I think, Keith, you even mentioned, I think you mentioned it back when it was actually at a fairly decent price, like 2 weeks ago or something. Let's take a look at like the 20 day, because I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago when you asked about it. So let's see where we at here. This is the 4th. So let's say you asked about it right in here. So yeah, I mean, it was around $60, $70, somewhere in there. Either way, right around like $60 to $80 whenever you asked about it. So again, I don't think you got in. I think you said you didn't get in, but again, you just gotta look at it as, man, I missed out on an opportunity, but at the same time, probably a good thing that I still stayed away from it. Didn't mean to do that. Because I mean, if you did throw in $80, say you got in here at $88, you'd have been a fool not to sell right here. You'd made 154% on your money. See, like me, I'm such a chicken shit, I probably would have sold right in here. 68%? Why wouldn't I take that money and run? That's just me. I'm super conservative now when it comes to taking profits because I've literally, especially with options, watched my profits vanish. And I go from, those of you that remember my hilarious story that were watching live when it happened, I had Walmart calls, a bunch of Walmart calls. This is when I was first getting started doing options. And Walmart had some earnings report or something, made a drop. Had a perfect cup and handle for me, and I was like, bet, I'm going to get in Walmart. It was only about halfway up the cut. I mean, you might still even see it still. Let's go ahead and try to find that. Let's see. I want to see the 1 hour. Damn, there's a good buying opportunity down there, too. So, 1 year, where was it? Was it right here? No. I think it was right here, actually. Let's go ahead and just zoom in. So it was like, what, back in April, if I recall. Yeah, I think it was somewhere right in here. So let's try to find it really quickly. So April, yes, here we go, right here. So I'm pretty sure it was like right in here, because I know it was like around April or May, but I feel like it was right here, because it was right around our earnings report. So yeah, it was probably right here. Yup, this is exactly where it happened, because then it kept going down. So this is what I'm going to talk about just really quickly. So I saw the Walmart drop their earnings report. I was like, that's going to be perfect buying opportunity for options. Bought some calls. I was up on this day, to the exact day. I was up on this day, and by the next day, boom, it dropped, and I lost all the profits. The options pretty much went worthless. I mean, I lost like, I think one of them finally broke even because I bought it out far enough or something, where it ended up like equaling out or pretty much breaking even on it. But like there were some that I went from up 60% to down 60%, like 120%, 180. Just, I mean, when you learn a lesson like that, you don't do shit like that again. Let me just tell you. And I mean, no matter how many times somebody hears me say, cover your damn profits, there is still going to, wow, I didn't see that one happen. I know that there's still going to be people, I mean, almost everybody's going to do it, because there's just something about, we think it can never happen to us, that it's just something about the human race. I don't know what it is, but we think it'll never happen to us, and then once we get smacked in the face, we're like, damn, I'm not going to do that again. But that's why I'm just super conservative about covering profits anymore. I mean, even like the XOP call or put, whatever it was, I was only up like 5 or 6%, which for options isn't like wow or anything. I mean, yeah, 6%, awesome, but I went ahead and just covered. I probably could have made another $10 or something, but at the end of the day, again, why add more stress to your life? Why risk that money? Cover the profits, and it wasn't even a day trade. I bought it the night before, and I sold it literally the next morning. So I held it for about 12 hours. I made 6% profit, moved on. If I can make 6% average on my portfolio every single day, I'll be a happy man at the end of the year. So that's just my quick spiel on covering profits too. But let me go ahead and check, make sure that our stream's still doing all right. Looks like we still got 2 of you tuning in. Hopefully everybody's having a good Sunday. But is there any stocks you guys want me to like just break down really quickly, let you know what I think of them? No pot stocks. That's my only condition. No weed or pot stocks whatsoever, because you guys know I think they're just Bitcoin 2.0. But yeah, hopefully everybody's having a good Sunday. Got my Chiefs shirt on, representing. They had a really good game. Well, they had a really good first half. They were up 35-7 in the first half. Like classic Andy Reid coaching style, decided to not play the offense pretty much at all in the second half. Only scored 3 points the entire second half. Still won like 38-24, so can't really complain. But man, it just gets annoying that he always takes his foot off the gas every single time they get a 14 to 21 point lead. He just lets off the gas. I never understand it. But yeah, I mean, go ahead, throw the 2 or 3, however many of you there are, and then go ahead and throw out some stock. Wow, we've already been on for half an hour. Just shoot me a stock or two. In the meantime, I'll go ahead and look at AMD, because AMD is one that I've always been slightly interested in, just from an overall investing in standpoint, but I never have. I've never invested in it. I passed up on it when it was around like 10 or 12 bucks. I mean, you can see, I mean, yeah, it was around 10 or 12 bucks. I always passed up on it. Once it reached above 12 bucks, I was like, it's not going to sustain this. And then sure enough, it's just slowly but surely, it's just kept on chugging. I mean, just since April, the April low, 180-day low of 896, it's gone up, let's see, we're at 31.16. So it's gone up about 250% so far since how many days? In about 100, so pretty much in half a year. Half a year it's gone up almost 250%. I mean, that's insane. But be careful for those of you AMD lovers. I know that there's someone in here that loves AMD. Metal Rockstar, I forget his name, Metal Kickass or something like that. Every time this thing has shot up in history, it's just gone right back down to a penny stock. So it's shooting up again. I'm starting to get. I mean, I think it's still gonna go up a little bit, but I'm gonna start to get anxious once it gets above $35. Just why? Because history seems to repeat itself. So, and you can see, I mean, it's starting to look a lot like it did back then. So, I mean, we'll see. I mean, it's not like a bad company or anything. It's just, I don't know. It's definitely way past my time to get into it. I mean, I wouldn't get into it at all. I like the company, though. I like the CEO. She definitely knows what she's doing. But, I don't know. I just think $31 a share for that is pushing it. Roku's another one that I actually missed out on. I think I mentioned that to you guys a while back. Roku was at one point at like $40 a share or something. Yeah, $40 a share. It's another one that just went kaboom the last few months. It's been a hell of a year. Been a hell of a year for individual stock pickers for sure. SQ's actually dropped a little. Yeah, because it was at 92. So it might be starting to correct itself a little, but I see it. My price target for that one would be $100. So I mean, even if you got in right now, I wouldn't at this moment, but if you got in right now, rode it up to $100, that's also 60-70% profit. But yeah, I'm not really like investing too much into actual stocks right now. I'm mostly just trading SPY options for the time being. However, once I start to build up a little nest egg, like have $1,000 to $2,000, maybe $3,000 in there, I'm gonna probably allocate $1,000 or so just to individual stocks. Not just not high volatility stocks. Like I'm talking stocks like what am I trying to say? Your more reputable stocks like your Apples, your I just can't think off the top of my head. Like your Apples, your Nikes, your Netflix, maybe Netflix. I'm sure I'll have one stock in there that's like a decent. I mean, it's all risk at the end of the day, but as long as you manage it and just set stop losses and everything like that, you'll be fine. Planet Fitness is one that I'll probably end up investing in. Costco, maybe PayPal, ExxonMobil, some sort of oil company, energy company. Or maybe even just some ETFs too, like XLE and XOP. Probably not XOP, but ETFs like that. Not Gush or DRIP though; those are very volatile. Pretty much, if you're just wondering, Gush is pretty much XOP on steroids. So whatever XOP does, Gush will do 2 to 3 times of whatever move it does. So you see, Gush was up about 3% on Friday, where XOP was up 1% even. So just keep that in mind for when you're doing options. That's why I like trading XOP. I have no idea why. My very first option I did was on Gush versus XOP. I know XOP is a lot more option friendly because obviously you don't have these huge swings. I mean, when you have Gush swinging as much as it does, you better get it right or you're going to lose a lot of fucking money. So that is where I made my biggest mistake when I first started trading options again here about a week or two ago, about 2 weeks ago now. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the future. I paid off 2 credit cards within the last week. For those of you that didn't know, whenever we moved and everything, it was just, money was like this for me. So I ended up having like 2 credit cards that I didn't max out. One of them I did. It was a like short little $300 credit card. And then I had another one I ran up just a couple hundred, just a few hundred here and there. But you guys know that I hate debt more than anything. I depleted my emergency fund, everything. But I'm pretty much back to where I started. I got the 2 credit cards left. Other than that, it's just the 2 credit cards, and one of them's a 0% card, so that one's going to get paid off super quick. But 2 credit cards left. Obviously, I'm still building the emergency fund just over the months as well as investing. But once I get the 2 credit cards paid off, man, it's just going to be so much money going straight towards investing. I did the math. I mean, they pretty much said in my job I should be bringing home about $3,000 to $4,000 a month. Bring home, and once we get in spring and summer, $5,000 to $6,000 a month. Bring home. So, I mean, here within the next few months to year, we should really be, like I said, you guys know that my goal is within the next year or two to be doing day trading full time, so I can get on here every single day and do the live stock market trading with you guys. But obviously, I still got to look out for like my best interests and whatnot. Like I got to put food on the table, pay the bills, pay the internet bill, all that stuff. But once I get to the point where all this is making me more money than my, like I'm losing money by not staying at home versus going out and doing my job, then I'll know it's time to go ahead and make the leap and do this completely full time. So like I said, that's probably still a year, maybe 2 at the most out, but I'm not like trying to rush it at the same time, because that's how I end up making things worse, and then it just prolongs the process. But it's all about just having a plan and just sticking to it at the end of the day. It can be hard at times, especially when it comes to money, because I'm sure all of us know, I mean, our mind is just processed to spend money for some reason. Mine has been starting to slowly go towards saving more than spending, like almost to the extreme, but I'm just glad that we're finally starting to get settled in here. Finally got a really, really good job where it's not working 12 hours a day, so I'll be able to do all these videos and stuff for you guys, which is awesome. But apparently you guys don't want me to do any tickers. So I know, Josh, if you're still watching, you were in Tesla, or you said you got burned on some Tesla puts. Right now with Tesla, man, it could go either way, and honestly, that is a true day-to-day. Like I said, Tesla trades like a damn penny stock, man. I mean, it could, especially right in this $300 zone, it could easily go up $20, $30, or it could easily come back down $20 or $30. So it's really just in a tight wedge right now. So it is actively trending down slightly, however, so be on the lookout for that. I'd probably place puts once it gets above 310, 320. Place some calls once it gets below, say, 280. I said place calls, right? I didn't mean puts. I meant place calls under 280. But what about Grubhub too? I just want to mention Grubhub really quick. So that was a stock that at one point was under like $66, and it's just gone up to about $150. I mean, say you got in, say you didn't even get in at the absolute low. Let's say you got in around $70, and you sold it right around $145. That's 105% profit. And again, less than a year. I mean, it's just good times to be in the market right now. No matter if you're just invested in index funds, mutual funds. I mean, everything's making like 15, 20, 30% right now. I mean, the last few years has just been good times for the market, right? But what does that mean you should also be doing? Setting aside your rainy day fund, as well as setting aside a whole lot of cash for when the big one finally happens, which, like I said, there's no point even trying to time when the quote-unquote big one's going to happen or anything like that. But when the market decides to drop 30, 40%, have all that cash that's just waiting, just primed and ready to go to throw into all the stocks that are going to be on sale. People look at crashes as such a horrible thing. To me, and from what I've read, like I'm listening to Tony Robbins' Unshakable right now. I mean, crashes are really the best time, because that is where you can take all the cash you've been setting aside. Now, I'm not saying go 100% in cash, wait for the crash. That's the dumbest thing you can do. But I'd set aside, like, say you have your portfolio. I'd probably be trading with 75%, and then have 10, 20, maybe even 25% just sitting in cash, just waiting. That way it's just there, you're ready, because the worst thing you can obviously do is sell right in the middle of the crash. So you're not going to want to cash out anything that you're holding, just add to it. Just add to it at the end of the day. But, I mean, what stock was it? I heard, what is Citigroup? Is it, yeah. I heard that Citigroup was one that apparently back when the crash happened, if I can find it. Yeah, okay, yeah. So it's true. I mean, back at the end of the crash, I mean, this thing went below $10 a share. $10 a share, guys. So, I mean, say you got in, say you went all in, say you just happened to look and that, oh my God, Citigroup's under $10. I'm going to go ahead and buy. Let's say you didn't get it at that lowest price. Let's say, okay, you got it at, not 9. Let's say you got it at, I'm trying to get really close, 11.23. It's at what today? 74. So at 74, you're looking at 560% return in pretty much dead on 10 years now. So you're looking at what? Around, I don't even know how much percent profit a year that'd be. I'm like blanking right now on my math. My math has been slacking lately. You're looking at, okay, let's do this real quick because I really want to know now. Say 600% of profit divided by 10 years. That's 60% profit average per year. That is why you want to have a little bit of cash. Like I said, I'm not saying go full out in cash, but you want to have some cash set aside so when everything goes to shit, because it will, history always repeats itself because us humans never learn. When it happens, you want to be there to scoop up all these amazing stocks for cheap prices. I mean, let's look at Apple back then. Apple's another one that I remember, from what I heard, got hit stupid hard during '08. So let's take a look. 10 years. Go back. Okay. So yeah, $11 a share, guys. $11. Where's it at now? $2.17. I mean, really. Let's just do this. Hell, I can't even do it because my thing only goes so far. So let me pull up my calculator really quick because I really want to know what the math is on that one. And I know actually there's a calculator on this app that you can use, but whatever. So say you made $11. It got up to $2.20. Let's say you cashed out at $2.20. So you made $209 a share. Divided by your initial investment of $11, 19. So what would that be? 1900% profit in 10 years. So divided by 10 is what? So you made on average, you pretty much what? Doubled your money or over doubled your money every single year. Almost quadrupled your money in Apple every single year. I didn't know Apple actually was that low in all honesty. That kind of blows my mind. $11. So I mean, like I said, have a little bit of cash. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. I mean, we all know that it's probably going to come, like Apple, I would not be surprised, honest, if Apple comes all the way back down to 140 or 120, maybe even, hell, who knows, $100 when the next big one happens. Like, I'm not trying to like fearmonger or anything. I'm just saying, diversify yourself. Don't go all in on one stock. Don't go all in one sector, one nation. All that good stuff. Just be diversified enough, and if you don't have enough money to be diversified right now, then start saving some money. Go, if you don't have the money, go make more. Once I get off this stream, I'm about to go do a little bit of Uber Eats I'm only gonna make probably $20-30, but I mean $20-30 extra a day equals what over a month? $900,000. $1,000 a month can change a lot of people's life. So just keep all that in mind when you're doing all this investing stuff. Just know that at any single moment, shit could hit the fan, which could either mean one of two things. Either you're going to go, oh shit, with it, or you're going to be like, oh man, this is what I've been waiting for, and go all in and make a lot of money over the next 5, 10, however many years after that the next bull market will run on for. So with that, I guess I'll go ahead and start wrapping this video up. Wow, it's been probably the longest stream in a little while. So hopefully you guys did enjoy it. We went all over the place with a lot of different things here in this video. I just wanted to, I mostly got on here just to talk about what I'm looking out for this week, which I've already mentioned for about half an hour. It's just I'm watching what SPY's going to be up to for the next week, since that's mostly what I trade. Like I said, I think we're going to see a little pullback tomorrow. Or Tuesday. I think pretty early on this week we're going to see somewhat a little pullback to around 290, 291. And then I think in all honesty we go up to 295. We make more new highs. 295 to 297 is probably not out of the realm of possibility. But obviously, like I said, anything can change just like that before we know it. For all I know, this thing could shoot on up and make a new high tomorrow. Who knows? So it'll be interesting to watch, of course. And if you're new to the channel and you watch this whole stream, you're awesome. Definitely consider hitting the subscribe button below. We'd love to have you here. And if you did like the stream, definitely make sure to give it a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate that. And by all means, share it with any friends, coworkers, anything like that are into the same type of stuff and just want to achieve financial freedom at the end of the day. And like I said, for anyone that's new, we also have that totally free Discord group chat that is down in the description box as well. But until next time, guys, keep on going out there making that money, covering your profits, and achieving some financial freedom this year. And I'll see you guys probably within the next couple days. Take it easy, guys.